Should be back. Your patience. Thank you for all your patience. We are back. Hopefully. All right, let's get. I gotta just start focusing.
I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Guys. Okay. Thanks, Juliet. I'm trying. Trying. Okay. What did we say, Elena, Juliet, Brian, Clark's Flower Shop? The greatest versus the world. I like that. I like that. So guys, yeah, just be thinking of captions that you like. This is almost like the title.
I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am. I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Yeah, I like the greatest versus the world. It hits really hard. Um, what else did we want to put up there? We got, I mean, hey, we're just gonna risk it for the biscuit. Let's get him and Joe Fra. We said Joe Frazier. Okay, so that was called the fight of the century. See if there's anything for Vietnam on YouTube.
I sometimes wonder what you're doing. Right?
You know, it's really strange. I'm actually more busy now.
This is the most we're just gonna skip to the most replayed part. Maybe it'll something good here.
I got back. But whenever people want to really make progress, some have to sacrifice a lot. And I like to say, white America right now is spending $30 million a day in Asia. Black and white boys are dying unjustly.
You hear that? The white America spending $30 million a day in Asia. Black, it's like this is. I mean, Vietnam, it's the same thing.
For nothing, just to free somebody else. So why should I worry about going to a little old jail to free my poor people who's been catching hell here for 400 years?
So yeah, he just said, why should I be worried about going to jail for, for my own people for the, 400 years, obviously referencing slavery, slave trade, all that stuff, segregation, racism.
And it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to put.
Are you asking me for an answer to that?
It's kind of hard to put a black man.
But still, I mean, so I don't know if we have room for that in that. I don't know if it makes sense to put that's why I'm trying to display some type of touch moment too, but see what they have for images. I guess this is him with Martin Luther King, too. Not Martin Luther, but Martin Luther King. It's from Ken Burns. We can just... Alright, we'll risk the copyrights, guys. I'll stop worrying about it so much. I'm gonna get rid of these wheels. Chaos Frazier.
I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
I think we're honoring the wheel today. I think we are. because we're showing multiple. We can show him. I mean, this I can't believe the. I guess it was the '96 Olympics in Atlanta. He lit the torch. He lit the Olympic torch. So maybe we gotta have that, you know, like, you know how they, like, the Olympics, they, like, the torch goes on some worldwide journey or whatever until it ends up at the Olympic Stadium. They, like, light it. And he, in the '96 Olympics, he was the one who lit the torch. So we will find that video. Alright, thanks Elena for backing me up. And we haven't even mentioned it today. Ali had Parkinson's disease. You know, possibly, I don't know about the medicine, but, you know, he famously fought, like, well, like, into the 80s. You know, he fought long after he should have retired from boxing. He kept fighting. And, you know, his body, at the end of his life, he had severe Parkinson's disease. So even here you can see the effects of that. So this is a clutch moment in its own right, and maybe the one we'll end it on, because it's kind of like it's a good ending, because it's like, I'm gonna show you how great I am is how we started it, and then we end it with that, with him holding the torch. I can't believe I hadn't thought of that, but good thing I did before we ended. You know, so we're going to end it with that, because that's like, I mean, it's ultimate clutch, you know, like you know, I don't know if it's ultimate clutch, but it's like the pretty high honor, basically. You're being honored if you're chosen to light the torch and your country's hosting it. It's like pretty much the highest honor an athlete can receive. So, you know, he got that in 1996. And like I said, he was probably the most recognizable person in the world for a long time, like including 96, you know. So we'll end it on that. So yeah, I think it's a good idea too, Elena. And it like perfectly honors the wheel, you know. At least it's an old timer and an Olympic moment, you know. And he's literally clutching it exactly. Plus through the Parkinson's, you know. He's like got Parkinson's. You can see he's like shaking. And he's still holding Yeah, I mean, that's just awesome. It's an awesome image, you know. Because, like, yeah, it's like I don't know if we're going to get copyrighted for this. Olympics will come after us. But I think that's a perfect ending. That's a perfect ending. So we just got to find a couple more little things to throw in the middle there, maybe. Let's get you guys on. Thanks, Elena. Yeah, I mean, boxing, like, people, like, boxing used to be, like, pretty much number one. I mean, like, you know, before there were team sports, like, we didn't draw Fiend Day Clay, you know, but say we did draw Fiend Day Clay in, like, the early 1900s or whatever, you know, boxing was still huge, you know, and before the NFL, before the NBA was huge. I mean, MLB, baseball was big because it was America's pastime, but, like, boxing from, like, you know, the dawn of the media age, radio and TV, up until, like, maybe the 80s or 90s, like, boxing was top tier sport, you know? It's like that's why Muhammad Ali was number one, like, worldwide, in terms of most recognizable people worldwide. You know, at his peak, Muhammad Ali was probably the most recognizable person alive on earth. I mean, we can look into that, but you can fact check me on that if you want. I mean, maybe the United States president, you know, that's, you know, maybe, like, but, like, even, you know, so boxing's not that anymore. Like, it's, you know, now it's hidden behind pay-per-views. They're, like, you know, 10 different championship belts. It's not quite the sports cultural institution that it was, but you can see, like, why Muhammad Ali is, like, you know, the most famous, one of, you know, top 5 most famous athlete of the 20th century. I would think any list has to put Muhammad Ali on that. Plus most influential as well, probably, you know, plus with his media presence, you know, how he dealt with the media. Like, he inspires people to this day, how he dealt with the media, you know? Like, instead of, like, he didn't run from questions, you know, he made it his own thing. And that's probably why he became the most recognizable person in the world, is how he dealt with the media, how he came up with jokes, you know, when they were asking him, you know, he had his routines, but he also spoke his mind, you know, so we like that. So he's a perfect subject, and it's cool that we thought of him. Cool we did this. Won't be our last Muhammad Ali video, it'll be our first. So yeah, let's figure out what else we want to add. Did I add that? No. Okay.
I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm going to show you how great I am. I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
I don't know. We gotta think about the chronology that we want to do here, guys, because I like the starting and ending points, but I don't know. I mean, he said this first starting one before he KO'd George Foreman. Maybe we... I don't know if we need him in there with Malcolm X. I mean, it's George Foreman, Sonny Liston, Joe Frazier, 1960 Olympics. It's like, do we gotta show them all? You know, what is the best? What's the...
I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Did he ever KO Joe Frazier? I don't know. Let's just take a brief detour here, guys, just to reset. How are we doing here? I don't think we need Malcolm X either, Elena. We're probably going to take it out. They give us any boost? Not really. Not really, guys. You guys are stepping up, but the algo keeps flipping us. It's okay. Were these all from you guys? These views? Oh. We're just going to stop worrying about that. We're going to take out the Malcolm X. We're going to take out the Malcolm X because it doesn't fit.
I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm going to show you how great I am.
Let's get that close. I think we have it in here.
I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm going to show you how great I am.
Just getting this music in here, see what it's looking like.
I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm going to show you how great I am.
this one's gonna work. I think this is the one we wanted to go with, right, Elena? We're learning how the algo works, you know? That's why we're showing up here every day. We'll do a Bartman autopsy later. I just didn't feel like doing a Bartman. I didn't feel like starting our creative day with an autopsy. Like, it kind of sucks that Bartman was dead, but it's fine. We're going to deal with that. We'll do an autopsy. It's just like, it's kind of, the reason why I feel like it's BS is because it's like they run the test and it wasn't even... It's like they gave us 3,000, 2,000, whatever views in 5 minutes. And it's like, I know that's not fully my audience. I know they're testing that to new people. But then they still don't give it to... Now you can give my stuff to the audience and they're going to watch it. Like, it's just frustrating because it feels like they tested it with a cold audience pool, but then never gave it to the full audience. So that's frustrating, but hey, it's why we're here creating a new short today. We've got Shaq in the backlog. We got Shaq in the backlog ready to drop. You want to consider other songs? I don't know. Autopsy later. Did not feel like doing an autopsy today. It like started out good, like I started out like with my plan of getting 10 hours of sleep, but then I woke up like in the middle of the night and couldn't go back to sleep, so.
I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Yeah, that's what's frustrating, Atlanta. It's like I feel like, you know, because you can see here. I'll show you guys. Well, whatever. I already exited out, but basically, it's like some people are watching Bartman for like well over the allotted time. It's like I know some people like it. And those guys are my audience, but they didn't give it to my audience. They test it. It seems like they don't think it's worthy of my audience, but whatever. So we'll figure out. It's just because what? Please what? So we gotta add. We still gotta add. We need Joe Frazier and a 1960 gold. So that's him standing over Sonny Liston. So there's a similar picture of him standing over Joe Frazier. Cool. This is I think this is an iconic photo. I'll show you guys. So, yeah, we're gonna have to do some photos. If that's okay.
I'm gonna show you how great I am.
So ironically, we're kind of telling this story all over the place. It's definitely not chronological. You guys think people will stick around for 4 seconds worth of photos? Maybe.
I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
So I'm gonna show you how great I am. Then we kind of go backwards in time. Eric Foreman. I'll say Trilogy versus Joe Frazier. I'll say maybe we just flip these. Yeah, we'll flip them just so it's chronological. Maybe we add the 1960. But I'm thinking we gotta do chronological just because it makes more sense to me. Like, it's out of order. It's not strictly chronological, but I think it makes more sense for the viewer if it is more chronological. Like, it's like...
I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
You guys think it's okay if we use images? Like, we'll put some effects on there. We're gonna try it out. I mean, we haven't put out a short with images before. We might as well try it. See what happens.
I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am. I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am. I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
So yeah, now all I'm doing is just like doing what's called the Ken Burns effect, which is zooming in on these photos that we have. Like, so that it zooms in on them while we're playing. It creates a sense of movement even in a still photo.
I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
You like the song, Elena? I mean, we can try out another song too. But I don't know if I want to add another photo in there because I feel like, so we can maybe skip over the 1960 Olympics. We're already including one Olympic moment. These are the most famous professional fights of his career, which are against Sonny Liston, Joe Frazier, and then George Foreman. We have the two picks, and then we have George Foreman. Do you think it needs anything else? Does it need another?
I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Let's say KO. Maybe we'll use past tense, like KO trilogy with Frazier. KO's George Foreman. Olympic tour. Comma.
I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
I think it's good too, but do we think it needs anything else? I wouldn't add another photo either. But hey, we just gotta think about the dopamine cues. So we've got it queued up, the greatest versus the world. And that is a pretty good cue because it evokes the greatest versus the world and then Muhammad Ali about how he's the greatest, So I'm just gonna try and think if there's anything else we gotta add. Like, what else can we do to make it entertaining? Hopefully this stream doesn't end again. That'd just be ridiculous. I think we're still live. You love it, Elena? Aw, thanks. Thank you for helping so much. I mean,
I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
he's helping us cue it up there too, you know? He says, I'm going to show you how great I am. And then we'll just say knocks out or KOs. We can have the same. We can use KO twice, maybe. Trilogy with Joe Frazier. That looks like crap.
I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Yeah, I like how we end it because it's like the greatest versus the world, but in the end, he's lighting the Olympic torch. So that's like kind of its own predictive error. Like, good way to end it. A good caption to end it on. Do you think like, you see how when I say it's almost like I might have to.
I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
You like the song? Should we try out another song? The first clip is like 4 seconds almost. The first clip is 4 seconds. I believe. And of You think it looks okay, Elena? Alright, B-ball here. We're gonna play it for you guys. This is zoomed in. No, shoot.
I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
What's a little long?
I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you.
Maybe we just say, but the man's in trouble. Doesn't need to say, I know you got him picked. Try that out, Elena.
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you.
I like that, Elena. We gotta get into the action sooner. You're right. But then I gotta.
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Now the drop's all messed up. Ollie Chamberlain? Who the hell is Chamberlain? Neville Chamberlain?
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Okay.
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Maybe we can make that KO's Foreman clip shorter too.
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Here's the full screen.
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
We can just say like Olympic torch clutch. Something like that. The Wilt Chamberlain clip, how does that fit in there? What do you guys mean? Need a dislike react? I don't even know. Like, alright, so the wheel came up, old timer, Olympic sports was the content. Second was clutch moment. So, I mean, and third was, I can see the king emoji, B-Wall. And the third one, what was the third one, Elena? Them versus the world. So, how are we feeling about this one? If we release it in its current form, it would be the shortest short we've ever released. What else do we need?
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am. But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am. But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Maybe I could see him like on YouTube. Yeah, no, I can't even see him. It's like maybe there's definitely some way I could get to see him, but I can't see him as is. Wrecking another guy? I mean, I don't think so. I mean, yeah, exactly. This is the Gen Z special. We could just leave it at not even 14 seconds. It looks like it says it's 14 seconds flat. We'll give it a shot.
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
I mean, you go on a pretty quick journey on this short. It's pretty compact, honestly. It's like 14 seconds to say. First, we got his clip, then we've got him beating Sonny Liston, Frazier. I mean, the only thing would be adding like 1960 gold medal. Yeah, I mean, I saw it when I was doing the research, when we were Googling, looking up YouTube videos, the Chamberlain stuff came out. What was Wilt suspended for? What was Wilt suspended for? I just don't think it fits in this short at all, you know? You see that? You see why I'm thinking it doesn't fit? No, they never fought. I mean, how did I love the suggestion. I do love the suggestion, but I just don't think it fits in here. Do we want to try a different song? What was the other one we said? Reverb, I think. Yeah, you guys, it's true. You guys, like, if I know, we know. We know. We went over that backstory about how Ali was suspended for not. We went over a whole thing. I tied Vietnam to the current Ukraine war. Missed that one. Yeah, I mean, we respect Ali for not going to Vietnam. Alright. B-Wall says that song is dope, but let's see if this one's any better. No, it's not any better. Let's see if there's anything on. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. Well, Julie, we'll play it for everybody now. We're just like we're thinking about finishing touches, honestly. Like, what else do we need?
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
I mean, hey, it's like we're like we could. Clark's Flower Shop. We went. There will be a number 4. Clark's Flower Shop. Oh. Oh, there's no number 4. Wait, Juliet just got back on number 1. Yeah. Superstitious. No, see, like, that's why we're going... Yeah, Elena's now at 4th! This is proof the YouTube algo is trash. I'm with you, Elena. Elena's got nothing. That's insane. She's been in every... There have been like 5 streams today. Elena's been in every single one. No crowd. No respect. It's insane. That's actually insane. Yeah, Elena has more... Exactly. It's like the... Oh, thanks, Juliet. So it doesn't make sense here. We're tied up in the algo. We can... I don't know. Clearly, the YouTube algo has a lot of work to do. Clearly, that's funny.
But the man's in trouble.
Yeah, you guys are in CapCut, okay.
I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Alright guys, so all I did there was just this is our standard blurred background effect. We might be able to put a cool filter on this one because of... We might... I'm just reading the chat now. Lena, that's funny. I don't even know how to... Yeah, well, I'll get better at this chat. We haven't posted Shaq. We decided to make this before... Exactly, that was the first thing on the stream. Elena's been there from the start. She knows. We just wanted to focus exactly and then decide which to post. Love it, exactly. Yeah, so right now we're finishing this and then we're going to decide between Shaq and this. Like, that was what we decided at the very start of the stream, like 5 streams ago, before they've kicked us off 4 times since. And Elena's lost all crowns. Since... Alright, let's see what it looks like now.
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
We didn't up that blur. We gotta up that blur. And maybe make this a little... Whatever, we'll figure it out.
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
That looks weird.
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you.
We're gonna have to... That looks very weird. That is fine. We'll just leave it.
But the man's in trouble.
Maybe up the blur even more.
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am. But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Just like his eye is just like awkwardly in the top of that. I don't know if you guys can see that.
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am. But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am. But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Lane is thinking post Shaq before Ali. Elena back to number one. Wait, now there are two number ones? Obsessed with quote to hype music pipeline. I guess, do you mean like the... I think I know what you mean there, Juliet. I think I do.
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am. But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Like, yeah, I know we're leaving stuff out here. You know, we're leaving out the 1960 Olympic gold medal. We're leaving out, you know, a lot of his pop culture influence. We're leaving out the Vietnam stuff. We're leaving out Muhammad Ali or Malcolm X stuff. But hey, trying to condense it all.
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great.
Trying to condense it all into a digestible, short, so we can tell our story that's completely transformative, which is about this Olympic champ and his clutch moments and how it was him versus the world.
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
I mean, I feel like it's almost good. Like, we don't need to have I feel like it's okay. Like, we don't need to have him not, like, I don't even... We'll start looking at some filters and stuff here. We're gonna declare victory pretty soon. I mean, I just...
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am. But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Are those pics the same size? Same length? Yeah, they are. It feels... I don't know, guys. For some reason, the second photo feels longer than...
But the man's in trouble.
Even though they're the same length of time.
I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Take out what effects, Elena? Take out what effects? I didn't put any effects in there. All I added was a sticker and a blur effect to the background. So I'm just curious as what effects you're referencing.
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Alright, let's look for filters. See, maybe a retro filter? $1970. See what that looks like.
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
I like it. I like it, Elena. Don't know what video effects you're talking about, or don't know what effects you're talking about. I'm okay with that filter, honestly. The zoom in? No, I left it. Can you notice it? It's zooming in on just the pictures. You know, that's called the Ken Burns effect. If you just the two pictures, I left them in there. That's what I've been messing with a lot. Is I've been making them.
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Like you can tell. Like look at it here, and then look at it here. You can see how it gets bigger on the screen, and then the same thing with the next one. But I'm trying to like line those up so they're like this one's got to be bigger still.
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
I do have I have a zoom in. It's not an effect. All I do is I'll try to explain it more. My face, that will help you see what I'm doing. My bad. I should have done that a while ago. But like normally it's best for my face to be there, but right now That's why you're confused about what I'm doing. But let me show you here. If I go to CapCut and I go to these images, like this first image, I put what's called you see this here, there's a keyframe here, and you see how the scale's at 135, and then you put another keyframe at the end of it, and you see how there's this keyframe is add a keyframe, and now it's 145. So what that makes it is, you see if I go to any, like in the middle, it's now 140. You see that? So basically, from here it scales up from 135% or whatever to 145% at this. And then the same, I'm doing the same like 10% or 10 percentage points, not 10%, but the same increase on the other one. And if you can see, oh shoot, I keep thinking all right. If you can see, basically it just makes it adds movement to a still image. So Ken Burns, this is called the Ken Burns effect. I did some research into it. Ken Burns, the great PBS documentary filmmaker. You know, I think his first major work was the Civil War, or like the first of his own was called the Civil War. So obviously a lot of still images were used in his documentary, and now people had done it before him, but he somewhat perfected the Ken Burns effect so much that it's named after him, which was either using zoom or pan across, or like some type of camera movement. I think particularly he did zooms and pans, like moving from one side to the other, or zooming in, or maybe even zooming out. I think more zooming in. But anyway, that's the Ken Burns effect. And it's named for him because of the effects. Like, it was not, I mean, I'm sure he did not invent the Ken Burns effect, but he used it to great effect, and he's considered probably the greatest documentary filmmaker of all time with his own effect. So anytime we can use the Ken Burns effect, we'll hop right on there. You know, we'll hop right on that train. That's what we were trying to do with Bartman, remember? It's why I just didn't show you guys the scale. Like, that's where my face has been. You haven't been able to see that screen. So that's what the deal with the zoom is. You know? So, alright, so now you understand what I've been doing, but that was my fault.
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
See if there's any, like...
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great.
You see that? I just put an edge glow effect on there. Did we do that? Did we like the look of that? I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Now we're looking for effects. What does nostalgic light look like?
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am. But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am. But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
I mean, like this, you could mess around with this stuff all day, you know? But does it add
trouble? I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Does it add? Does it add or take away? John. The John Green effect. I know nothing about the John Green effect. I guess the John Green effect just says to not throw. All right, guys, we gotta wrap this up here because I feel like I'm losing momentum. Like I just started looking into all these.
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
We got the 1970 filter on all of this.
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
All right, we definitely got to make that one bigger.
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
And like, yeah, maybe it's like it's okay that we're leaving some of the stuff out, you know. Like we're leaving out the Olympics, we're leaving out the Vietnam, we're leaving out the Wilt Chamberlain, we're leaving out the Malcolm X, we're leaving out some of his later fights. But hey, they can, you know, that's what maybe we want that. Maybe the comments will chime in. Like,
but the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
I think it hits pretty hard. Because it's like, yeah, people might swipe away here. But hey, you know, if you swipe away here, like, I'm not going to say we don't want you, but like, you know, that maybe this isn't the short for you. And then when you, like, so give or take of images, a nice, it's just, that's why, I don't know. That's why my initial instinct was to start